Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for MATIC or POLYGON. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios to price my take and explain why I prefer one counter over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on 4-hour time frame and looking at the bullish scenario first, in which we would have this as a 5-way structure here. Inside here of third, we would have this kind of structure. Not the perfect look, because again this structure here should be smaller time frame or smaller degree than the next structure over here, which I've labeled already. Also, the next structure over here is definitely more like a 3-way move rather than 5, so we would have to kind of force a count in here. In my opinion, it would fit better if we had this as the third up in here, and then fourth and fifth at these highs and lows, so we would start some kind of count from here. RSI is not, however, supporting that too much, because again we have taken out the highs here, so generally that is not really good look to it. But again, the bullish count is there. That's that. The bearish one is actually ending at these highs, in which again we would not have any kind of divergence between the previous highs, which would fit us having this as a 3-way structure. Whether you want to be labeling as a APC or WXY, it does not really overall matter. This definitely looks more like a 3-way structure here. If we are measuring out the structure distance here, we can see that is going to the 2.236 to the tick basically, and then we would be looking for more bearish scenarios. Now, while we got the bearish scenario here on the higher time frame, let's take a look at the bearish scenario on the smaller time frame. Again, starting the count from these highs of that 98-cent area, looking at high here on RSI as well, we've already created this possibility of having this as an ABC. Lowest low here on RSI would mean that, okay, even though we did not take out the lows here of A wave, is very much of a possibility ending that count here, as we would have this as a 5-way structure in here, ending that C wave with the divergence here. No truncation needed, so that is still very much of a fine structure. Since then, again, we would have a 3-way structure into W, and overall a 3-way structure into X, having the highest RSI here on X. Again, on price terms, it does not really look the best, but again, it is still valid. Overall, what we would be doing is that creating this as a W, X, and then looking for that wave Y. At the moment, wave B could be in motion of creating, of being created, and for that, again, invalidation would be around 95 cents. If the price gets beyond there, then we might be looking into more bullish scenarios rather than this. Or this whole structure is going to be a bit different, where X wave is no longer here, but X wave would be up in here, and this wave Y here would instead be the start of this whole wave Y, and we would be labeling the wave Y up in here, so everything would be ending up at these highs. For RSI, we would want to see these tops to be taken out at that point, so again, that is something to keep in mind, of course. Let me just label this like that so I can remember next time with that as well. Now, that was the bearish idea. Then we had the bullish idea again, where we had the ending the counts up in here. MRS 2001 on Discord mentioned that it had a count like this, where there was expecting a B wave up in here. In this one, we would have a 5-way structure in here, like I had on the more bearish view as well, 3-way structure in B, and then 5-way structure here in C though. So instead of having the count or the C wave basically starting from here of this structure here, we would have this as an A wave, B wave, and then C wave. This fits very well as well. Does not really matter that we we don't really have a divergence actually here. That is good. But on the thirds basically of these moves, we do have that divergence, which is sometimes visible on ABCs. That is again not mandatory though. Since that potential A wave was put in place, the next expectation would be the B wave up in here. Again, we would be expecting at least 90% retracement of this move of this A wave, and that would be around $1. At that point again, we would be looking for downwards pressure for that higher time frame C. To get into that wave B, at the moment it is possible to create this as a contracting leading diagonal as a wave 1, and here we would have a WXY as a double zigzag, then another zigzag, another zigzag, another zigzag, another zigzag. It looks pretty good as is. And that is again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a possible A wave. Not really looking any kind of a divergence here on higher time frame, or this RSI here on 4 hour. Don't really mind either. On 1 hour we definitely don't have anything here, and it would be a bit weird also if we did. Well, against the third it would be very normal, and of course as this is a contracting one, sometimes the wave 1 also provides that divergence here, but again on this time frame at least we don't have any. It is also possible that we are creating or just at the wave 4 at the moment of this wave 5, meaning that we would have this as 1, 2, sorry, A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of that C, creating that zigzag in here. So this 5 wave could be still incomplete, and at that point we would just shift this over. Again, I have set my alarm here on top of this, so I would probably look into shorting this if we are taking out the tops, and look for this potential drop down for that wave B. Here I would target most likely the golden pocket. We would at least get back to these lows here around the 77 cents and take out some liquidity below here. If we are taking anywhere lower or getting anywhere lower, we might need to be looking at more bearish views from this point on. But again, this golden pocket should be valid until proven otherwise. Then we had another view on this same more bullish idea, in which again we would be having this as an ABC into W, WXY into X, getting almost the golden pocket here. Again, it is still not clear that this whole structure is finished. So we could have that as mentioned as that A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 taking at the highs, getting right into the golden pocket here, and then dropping down. Again, that is something that we could do. There is definitely resistance here on this higher time frame block, and well, looks like point of control is right where our consolidation here is, so it is definitely an area of interest for sure. At the moment I definitely could be looking for short setups here, but I did not see on the very small time frame any kind of a good looking structure that would give us more info that this is actually going down. We can take a look at that as well in just a moment, but yeah, that is something to keep in mind. That golden pocket is right above us. Now let's check out these smaller time frames, maybe 10 minute. So in here again we could be getting that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I feel like we definitely need to be already starting to get up here if we want to be getting that fifth wave in. Otherwise we just have to say that we have a structure like this instead, and that should be complete, right? As a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. In here, however, in smaller time frames, again, as I mentioned, I just don't see any very good impulsive structure to the downside. That's like this definitely looks like three-way structure. So again, if you want to be having impulse way down, three-way structure is definitely not something that we want to be seeing. Of course, it could be part of something that is a diagonal, but the rest of the structures here don't really fit into that. This here does look like a five-way structure. We could be having another structure here, and then, well, I can't really get this into a five-way structure again. Some kind of retracements and possible 3, not quite sure. So there is not a very clear pattern here. Either we're just going to be taking out the lows or just getting up on the highs and then looking for short setups from here downwards. Not really interested in anything else here on this range, as it is not very clear to me. But I feel like that is pretty much all the scenarios I'm looking forward on MATIC. There's quite a few of them. At some points, of course, other are going to be more valuable than others. For especially the highs here, then I'm definitely looking for that short opportunity. But we'll see how it turns out. Of course, we don't need to get there. But if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes, link to my free Discord server in the description below, and for now I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video, bye bye.